It was kind of difficult moving from one hospital to the other, so that was how he passed. I remember railing, us railing animals, doing all of what my parents had. I didn't have documents. I couldn't just go back home because I had a funeral. I'm sorry if I put too much emotion on you. Welcome guys, once again to the vlog. As always, I'm always happy to have you here. Stans can testify with me that you are really starting to grow on me, and I enjoy the company, and this is becoming some form of therapy, because today I want to share with you what the story was like before the glam. And most people always just look at the end of it and just think that's just how you get there, but it's absolutely not. Because if I'm to look at where I came from back home, I don't want to paint a picture of Africa being different, but every family has its own story. And for mine, it was quite a struggle. I remember how much my mom had to work, my dad. I remember those nights where it would rain and you would have water like dripping from one corner of the house, and because the roofs were leaking. I don't know if you have ever had a picture of that before. Maybe you've seen a documentary, but it's not just made for the cameras. There are families that actually live like that. And I remember my parents still took upon themselves to ensure that we get an education no matter what. I remember railing, us railing animals, doing farm work for people, just to get by. And thankfully, I was quite a smart one. I was good with books, and somehow my teachers, most of them took interest in me. And finally, when I got to my university, I was mostly thriving on scholarships. So after my degree, I had this one lecturer who actually took interest in me and said, you should continue your studies, you should continue your education. And he himself called me to his office one time, and then we went through a few scholarships. And one day, on my way back from farm, I heard that there was someone waiting for me at home, and one of my lecturers or so, and I didn't understand why he could be home. I came back home to the news that I got that scholarship, and he himself told my parents that even if it came to him actually contributing to help me move over to Europe, he was going to do that regardless. So that was how I got here. And just when I thought everything was going to get better once I got here, I remember my mom called me one day to tell me that my younger brother got into an accident. And I'm sorry guys, but he passed because most of all of what my parents had, the resources, they put that together and they had me come over here. So it was kind of difficult moving from one hospital to the other, so that was how he passed. And I wanted to move back home. I just wanted to go back to my family, but I had to choose between going back home and staying here and giving them a better life. And I knew that I had to do it, if just not for me, but for them, not being able to move back home. I didn't have documents. I couldn't just go back home because I had a funeral. If I had gone back, I wouldn't have come back here. So on this fateful day, I was working part-time at a restaurant, and I was a cleaner there. And this guy who was having coffee, he was actually a young man, I think in his early 20s or so. He spilled his coffee, and I got called to go clean up the mess. So while I was there, he was standing up and his phone was on the table. So I realized that there was a chart open on his phone. So I just, out of curiosity, back home I had been hearing about candlesticks, and when I came to Europe, I heard people talking about it, but I never really paid that much interest to it. So I just asked him, is this trading? And he said, yes. Do you know about trading? I said, not really. He said, but you know that it's actually an easy, and not necessarily easy, but it's a cheat code. If you are disciplined, you can actually make a good living out of it. I can see that you're working here probably because you want to sustain yourself, and I'm sure you have a family back home. I said yes. He said, okay, I don't want you to be afraid, and I don't want you to think that this is going to be easy, but if you're patient, you can make something out of it. I got his number, and that was how we started communicating. You can go from minimum wage to minimum wage, but we know, of course, that your ambitions are way bigger than that. Of course, you don't want to be living off just a few bucks, not being able to reach out to the ones you love, have them spread and share love and give them the opportunities that you want. Come on over to my side where I'm guaranteeing you that with the help of my team and I, you will be able to trade from a rookie to a confident trader without any stress. It's not abracadabra, but I'm guaranteeing you that with consistency, you will be able to trade successfully and be able to make your own money just like we do over here. So let's move from talk to action. Now we've got 2 indicators to set up on a 3-minute time frame. So here we go. Let's figure them. First, the moving average with a period 10. Of course, I chose lime color. Second, moving average has a period of 20. Set it to white to tell them apart. It depends on what color preferences you have. I call them fast with the shorter period and slow one if the slow white is on top. So we are in a downtrend. We look to the opposite situation. If the fast lime is on top, that means we are in an uptrend. That's all we need to know. We also trade when price crosses both lines, of course, up and down. This is happening right here, right now. Let's take advantage and enter the market. So price is above both MAs. This means it's currently rising faster than the 10 and 20 minutes averages. We work purely with technical indicators here without diving into charts analysis. So moving averages are perfect for this as they exist solely to measure price dynamics. Here's a tip for beginners, okay? Keep your strategies super simple. You could add a dozen indicators, but all you would achieve is just confusion. I'm speaking from experience because I made these mistakes before myself. So trading is hard enough, so no need to complicate it further. Tens of thousands of pros trade with just 2 moving averages, and they don't need more. So why go against the crowd? It's okay to go rogue, but take your time and build yourself to that point. First trade closed in profits, and something tells me we should get out here. Better try another asset and check back later. Mark my words, guys. Price should drop. Okay, so here's exactly what we need. Taking a quick pause and getting ready to jump right back in. Let me repeat, guys. You don't need complex strategies. You don't need it. Have you ever seen them in my videos? I'm not sure you have. No, that's because they don't actually work. So keep it simple. Okay, no point delaying the obvious. I'm entering long. We've got not just a bullish moving average signal here, but also a breakout of the nearest level. The asset was consolidating and should now bounce up. Well, we just have to wait at this point. And by the way, remember the previous chart. I'm sure you do remember the previous chart. So just a minute ago, I said it will drop. Let's check right now. Oh yeah, consider me your personal prophet. Friends, how did I know? Ask me personally in my Telegram channel and I will break it down for you step by step. Always happy to see new people here, of course, and there at my Telegram channel. I run active trading sessions daily, free signals every day. And so if you're looking to grow in our field, if you're looking to come over to this side of the money world, there's always room for you. Don't hold back. Today is the day and now is the time. And here's the logical conclusions of another trade. Taking profit and getting ready to move to a new chart, my dear friends. Okay, after what feels like forever, I'm back to the same chart and market is boring, so this will be the last trade, of course. We firmly established above the level, so chances of continued growth multiplied several times. Just waiting for it now, guys. So let's summarize about the indicators. All you need is 2, maximum 3, and in extreme cases, 4 algorithms. Now, more than that is trade heresy. So I don't really think it's practical, but well, with time, you can do whatever you want to do. So better develop other skills, study technical analysis, learn chart patterns, ideally master price action, and you are guaranteed to have not necessarily a smooth run, but some progress. So indicators are useful, but just one part of your trading system. Found a couple that work. Now it's time to develop other areas. Perfect. I'm in profit again, guys. That was cool, fast, and profitable. I think you all saw and understood now that you just need to replicate it yourself. You just need to replicate it yourself. And of course, good luck. I got his number, and that was how we started communicating. He called me over to his house one time. I think I had an off day. I went over to his place. It was a nice apartment. And you know, the first thought that came to me was to ask him for a job to come over to clean. And he said, no, you don't have to come and do that. It's not necessary. I called you here for something. I want to help you and I'm going to help you. I got my salary that month. I couldn't wait to bring in my first $100 to start. And of course we did it and it wasn't successful. I was so disappointed. I just thought to myself, oh, of course, this wasn't going to work. What was I thinking? And then he said, don't worry about it. It's just $100. I'll help you. I see potential in you and I'm going to help you. And then we continued. And then I backed my first deal. I backed my first trade. I continued. I never stopped working at the restaurant. Mind you, I didn't just drop everything and start trading. He himself told me that don't let this consume you. Have a balance in life until you're stable enough and then you can go at this full time. And trust me, guys, I kept going at it. I kept going at it and I kept going and never stopped. And today I'm here to share with you a success story that still seems like a dream to a lot of people. My parents don't even believe how far I've come. And I myself, when I look in the mirror, I know for a fact that I'm a beast. And I know that each and every one of you who has a struggle story has what it takes to get to this point and get even more. Today I have a fancy car, I have an incredible, nice apartment, I have a beautiful girlfriend that I can show off and I'm proud of anytime. This is what we deserve. I'm currently looking at getting my parents an apartment, actually already paid for it, and I'll be bringing them over to see it, and it's a thing of joy. I know that it doesn't get better than this. If there's any of you who tells me that life gets better than this, then I would really like for you to show me that side of life. Well, I'm sorry if I put too much emotion on you. I know that it's really been an emotional one today, but I just had to share this with you. And like I said, it's more like therapy to me because we don't really get opportunities to share like this. Most times when we sit with the people I network with, it's mostly about business because everyone has their own story. But I'm sharing this with you today to motivate you, to make you understand that if you are disciplined, if you put your mind to it, you can achieve it.